This week we're focusing on design and development, and more specifically instructional objectives and how they relate to your analysis and help become the foundation for your development. If you remember from the reading The Basics of Instructional Development by Chuck Hodel, a good solid objective has four main parts: an audience statement, a behavior statement, a condition statement, and a degree statement. I recommend you go back and take a look at that reading to really help you understand how to formulate a four-part objective so that you state the audience or the learner who will be performing the action or the behavior as a set of or a single action that the learner will perform, all of the conditions that will be provided for the learner to be successful, as well as the degree to which the behavior will be evaluated. Once you've written a good solid four-part objective, you want to go through and verify it against a set of criteria called SMART. You may be familiar with the acronym SMART from writing performance goals or establishing other outcome metrics in other lines of work. But basically, a SMART objective is one that is specific. That means that the behavior statement is within that learning objective is looking at one specific behavior. You can't have an objective that lists multiple behaviors because it would be impossible to evaluate each of the behaviors independently. One objective, one specific behavior. You also want to make sure that your objective is measurable. That is, that the behavior that you've listed in that objective is observable and quantifiable. So things like know, learn, understand, those are not measurable behaviors. You want to be able to actually witness the behavior being performed. Demonstrate, summarize, list in one's words, describe, compare, contrast, discuss. Those are measurable behaviors. You also want to make sure that you've listed out an objective that's achievable, and that means that all of the conditions necessary for the behavior to be accomplished are provided for. If you've written a good solid four-part objective and you've spent good time lining out your conditions, all of your objectives should be achievable. You also want to make sure that the behavior is realistic. This is different than achievable. A realistic objective is one that's actually possible or achievable within the confines of the course and with the resources available. So you need to think about the types of setting where the course will be provided and conducted. You need to think about how long you have the students. You need to think about the prerequisites in order to make a subjective determination about whether or not that objective is realistic. And last, you want to make sure that your objective is time-based. This is where most designers go wrong. Time-based means that the behavior you list in your objective is evaluated during the length of the course. So the behavior that you're asking the student to perform must be something that they perform while they're under your custody of instruction. It can't be something that they're going to go forth and do because you will not be there to evaluate it. So you can ask a student to properly discuss the channels for filing an equal opportunity employment grievance, but you wouldn't ask the student during the course to actually file a grievance. That would be the outcome of their learning during the time with you. During the course, they could explain to you and they could demonstrate in a scenario-based situation how to do that behavior or execute that behavior, and then in real life, in real time, they would actually be able to go ahead and do it without requiring evaluation. So those are SMART criteria. 4 parts of an objective, 5 criteria.